Chris 6 News is brought to you by AutoNation. Get one price pre-owned vehicles at AutoNation. Every pre-owned vehicle is clearly marked with just one price. Shop now at AutoNation.com. Now, Chris 6 News at 10 continues.
A boy murdered inside his home, shot in the head after he heard a knock and opened the back door. His alleged killer went on trial 3 times. Each time the jury couldn't agree and a judge declared a mistrial. Now the case is dismissed. So what happens next, and where is the justice for 13-year-old Alex Torres? 6 Investigates brings us an exclusive look at what happened that night, the crime scene, police interviews with the suspected killer, and finally an emotional conversation with Alex's family. Tonight we begin with the night of the murder. Here's Jessica Savage.
Yolanda Quiros and Dalnado Gutierrez live in the same apartment where their grandson Alex Torres was murdered. They had the option to leave, but chose to stay because of all of the memories they have raising Alex since he was a small child.
This is when he graduated from kinder.
Because he was always a joker, man. He loved to make us laugh. He would always make us laugh. He had a lot of heart. It's hard. Yeah.
But they also have the memories of the night they found him lifeless on the kitchen floor.
And ever since my baby left this world, it has not been the same.
At 13 years old, Alex was the youngest of 4, and he was his grandparents' entire world. How old was he in this one?
Here he was 12.
They raised him as their own since Alex was just 2 months old, and he brought so much joy to their lives.
Jay, are you scared, Jay?
I always used to make fun of him because of his ears. Donna would tell me, fly around the room for me.
You know, just somebody that was always happy, cheerful. He would be cheerful and joyful and happy.
But on a cold night in January, that joy left them, their lives forever changed. The days were short on January 13th of 2015. It was close to sunset when Yolanda and Dalnado picked up Alex from tutoring at school. They needed to stop by the grocery store, but Alex wanted to go home and play his new video game. So they dropped him off and returned home just before 7 o'clock.
I started walking towards the house, and around right here is when I saw the door a little bit open. I went in, and as soon as I came this way, and I said, Alex, come in and help me get the groceries down.
It was then she noticed something was wrong with Alex. He was laying on the floor and not responding.
I opened the door, and I thought, right there's a metal. I thought maybe he had hit himself. But when I picked him up, his little head one way, and there was blood under his head. I couldn't understand. I started yelling and screaming.
911, location of your emergency. Well, I think I already called the cops, but there's somebody on the floor.
A neighbor called 911.
Hello?
Oh my God.
Okay, is he inside or outside of the apartment?
He's inside the apartment. Can y'all just send the ambulance? His baby is probably laying here dead.
Within minutes, police and medics arrived.
0140, repeating 0140.
But Alex was already gone.
I know he was gone when I saw him at the house.
How did you know?
Because because when I carried him, his little head went like that. He had no control over his head. And I figured if he would have been alive, he would have stayed in the position that I had him.
Medics determined Alex had been shot in the head. Police found the bullet on the kitchen floor, a .38 caliber. They also found a bullet hole through the screen door. But there was no gun, no fingerprints, and no DNA. There were witnesses.
And did you hear anything either?
So when they went boom, when I heard it, I was using the restroom.
Did it sound close?
Yes, I said, help, somebody help.
Two neighbors who said they heard a gunshot and then saw someone leave the apartments and get into a waiting vehicle. The descriptions were vague at best, and no one saw a license plate. Police spent hours combing the scene for any leads. How did this happen? Did Alex know the person who knocked? Why did he open the back door that evening?
He would always open the door for anybody, and I would always get mad at him not to open the door.
But who would shoot a 13-year-old boy? Who could do that? Did Alex see something he shouldn't have? Was someone out to get him? At first, police seemed to think so. Detectives questioned two teenage brothers who lived in the neighborhood after a neighbor said she overheard one of the brothers say he was going to shoot up the house.
How long have you known Alex?
Noah and Nathaniel Cooper knew Alex. The brothers revealed that Noah and Alex had had a previous disagreement. But police determined there was no truth to that rumor and weeks later ruled out Noah entirely as a suspect.
Thank you.
As the weeks passed and the months went by, other leads also ran cold. Former prosecutor Ray Pena said the pressure to solve the case was enormous, but investigators weren't giving up.
So at that point, it's, I think, fair to say everybody becomes a suspect. You start getting tips. Of course, you're going to investigate every tip, whether it's reasonable, whether it sounds like a good one or a bad one. You know, because again, who shot this child? Who killed one of the children in our community?
And coming up tomorrow night, the case goes cold for more than a year and a half until a bank robbery arrest leads police to suspects. We'll have that story tomorrow on Chris 6 News at 10.